First of all, I wanted to congratulate you on your career. I mean,
Thank you.
there's some pretty iconic roles. Clarissa Explains It All and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
And now Melissa
And
and Joey. I know I'm
yeah,
very blessed. My third sitcom in 3 decades, so I'm very lucky.
right. Yeah, that's pretty unheard of.
Yeah, it's pretty fabulous. I enjoy it, and the fun part too is I'm the executive producer. I executive produced Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, and now Melissa and Joey, and it's really fun to, be able to put myself in roles that I just love.
Uh, and when does that return?
It'll be back on June 29th on ABC Family. We'll have 18
Okay.
brand new hilarious episodes.
Okay, great. That's a good season length.
Yeah, well, this season, the first season, we got a 30 episode order. We aired 12 of them, and then we just kept shooting. We were working until April, and now we're finally done with all 30, and now the other 18 will be seen, and the other
Oh,
12 are
okay.
on DVD as well.
Oh, great. That's convenient for you too, with your family and everything.
Yeah, well, now I get to go home for a few months and spend time with my
Right.
boys.
Let me ask you, which character out of all three of those have you loved playing the most?
It's really difficult. It's each one is like a child. You can't choose a child. You might have one that you like more one day, but you really
Right.
can't pick your favorite child. But I would say right now I really enjoy playing Mel because
Hmm.
Clarissa was fun because she was edgy and she dressed funky and she was very spunky. But then
Right.
Sabrina was a fabulous show to do. It was such fun to do, and because of Sabrina, I got to be Cyrano and Alice in Wonderland and all these other characters. But the character herself was so kind of wimpy and quiet and not wimpy, but like she was more reserved and afraid and timid. And it was funny because she was sort of a child acting like an adult, whereas now
Yeah.
Mel, I get to play an adult who acts like a kid. Like she gets to be very
Right.
flawed. These tiny little pieces of my own personality are very exaggerated, and it's so fun to play her. She's just a
Yeah.
mess. She's a hot mess.
That's always fun, right?
Yeah.
Let me. What led you to the decision to return back to television?
Well, it was a number of things. It had been a few years since I'd been on TV. I had had my children and felt really fulfilled in my family life,
Uh,
and really wanted to get back to work. I was really missing it. I was missing
uh,
being part of the creative process, and so I started doing some TV movies, and I really enjoyed doing the comedies. I did a few for ABC Family, and I really enjoyed doing them. And also, I did some guest stars on different shows. One being Law and Order SVU, because I thought I wanted to do episodic, but once I stepped on an episodic set, I was
uh,
I was miserable. It was
oh,
really
really?
hard to be in that. You have to manipulate your emotions, and you have to
Hmm.
pretend to be, you have to really believe that you're, being raped, having an abortion, whatever all these things are that are
Yeah.
happening that are
Uh-huh.
so hard. So it's so hard to go home at the end of the day and not be like a
Mhm.
wreck and emotionally be just destroyed. So I was like, okay, no more of this. I want comedy back. So
Yeah.
I'm back
And
doing
even
comedy.
to carry those emotions into the next few episodes.
Yeah,
and
you don't
stuff.
want. I don't want to do that. Like with a comedy, you get to make people laugh that are upset, and you get to make people laugh that are excited. So it's like
Right.
the best of both worlds, and I just get to be silly at work. And even if I'm having a bad day, sometimes it's a little hard to be silly when you're having a bad day, but it's really hard to be upset when you're having a good day. So
Yeah.
I prefer comedy.
Definitely. Do you find it more difficult to do that amount of work with your two sons now?
I was able to take them with me a lot, but now we found a home in Connecticut, so we are
Oh, great.
really settled there, and we've made great friends, and they have great school, so it's hard for me to drag them away from there. So really it's a lot harder on me because I'm away from them more now. But
Right.
I'm so lucky. I have such a great husband. He is a fantastic father. We have a wonderful nanny. So my boys they're okay. It's just it's hurting me a little bit, but they're
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
And I want to say, after having two kids, you look really good,
Thank
and
you.
I think that's an accomplishment that I'm sure many women are envious of. So I want to ask you, like, do you have any diet secrets or fitness secrets?
It changes every day. I do a lot of like protein shakes to try to stay in
Mhm.
shape with my diet. I try to eat really clean, and I try to make sure I get enough sleep. That's pretty important with keeping your weight balanced. Drink a lot of water, take my vitamins so that I can just keep up my energy all day. And I have been working on different workout routines recently. I've been doing everything from like rowing to spinning to hot yoga. So I've really enjoyed sort of mixing it up and doing different things. I don't like to to do the same thing too much. So
Right. Yeah,
everything from treadmill classes to spinning classes to weight classes and yoga. I love it.
That's great. And while we're on the speaking of nutrition, I'd like to talk a little bit about your involvement with Feed the Children.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, Beechnut has partnered up with Feed the Children, and they're doing this great campaign that right now 1 in 4 children are waking up hungry in the U.S., which is like people think this is happening all over the world in like third world countries. No one realizes it's happening right here in our own country, and that's just an unacceptable statistic to me. And Beechnut has started a Jar for a Jar program where you can simply go on their Facebook page, so facebook.com/Beechnut. You go there, you click on a virtual jar of baby food, and you can send that virtual jar to all your friends and family. And for every virtual jar you send, Beechnut will send a real jar of baby food to Feed the Children. And they're hoping to send over 1 million of jars of baby food out into the country this year.
Wow, that's great.
It is great. It's really simple. It's everyone's on Facebook every day tagging and poking and liking, and so if everyone today could go on Facebook and just go to Beechnut's page and simply send out a virtual jar of baby food, it would really help. We're hoping by the end of today to get to 10,000 jars. Right now I think it's at 4,000. So we're hoping to get to 10,000 by the end of today, and then we really want to get to 1 million so that 1 million babies can have a jar of baby food in their hands today.
Yeah, exactly. I'm hoping that this interview helps your cause.
That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Well, why is this program so important to you?
Well, because I have my 2 little guys at home, and it just personalizes it. I'm also the oldest of 8, so family has always been priority for me. And, I've always been very involved in children's charities, and I just, but when you have your own children too, you just you take their little faces, or even nieces or nephews or whatever, if you take that one little face that you love and adore, and imagine that child asking for food and being hungry. I mean, when I'm hungry, when I skip a meal, I can't think straight. I get cranky. I have no energy to do anything. I can't imagine a child going to school hungry or, just trying to play, and, they don't learn very well. They don't grow very well. So we need our country to grow stronger and better, and we need to start with our children.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say is your favorite thing of motherhood? What's your favorite thing about being a mother?
There's so many, but I keep a journal by my bed of all the little funny things they say and do, so that on any given day I can just jot down a few lines of something they've said or done. And it's so wonderful to go back and read those pages. And God forbid anything happens to me, they have my writing, my stories of them and as children. But my favorite moments are when I pick them up from school or camp or wherever they are for the day. When I show up and they just go, "Mommy!" And I know that's only going to happen for a few more years, and then they'll be like, "Oh, she's here again. Can I just go out with my friends?" So I know I only have a short amount of time to really have them run into my arms and give me big squeezes. And I really try to take advantage of that. Whenever my girlfriends or my husband are like, "I'll go to school and pick up your kids," I'm like, No, I want to do it. That's my favorite time of day.
Do you mind me asking, do you have any plans for more children?
We do. We're it's all going to depend on Melissa and Joey in the next season. So once we get that schedule, then I'll have to figure it all out.
Okay. Are you open to that being written into the show at all?
Am I open to what?
That being written into the show at all?
Oh, yeah. I think it would be fantastic for Mel to be pregnant, especially with someone else's kid, not Joey's. I think it'd be really fun. But I don't know if the network will. I don't know. We'll have to see.
All right, well, thank you. I want to wish you all the luck with your organization, and
thank you.
Thank you for doing this interview.
Absolutely, thank you. And I hope all your fans will go on Facebook and send some virtual jars. And you can also follow me on Twitter. I'm at Melly J. Hart.
Okay, let me ask you one final question as we go. I'm sure all the fans want to know. Would you ever consider doing a Clarissa Explains It All reunion TV movie?
I get this question every day on Twitter. It's so funny. Clarissa and Sabrina, everyone's like, we want a reunion. I just think that ship has sailed. I think that I am too old to be playing that. But if you go on YouTube, there is the prequel, or the sequel rather, to Clarissa. We did something called Clarissa Now for CBS. It was a pilot, so it was sort of the after, what happened to Clarissa after. So you can go there and check that out.
Wow. All right, I definitely will.
All right. And you can look I'll have a Funny or Die video up soon. That's got a famous little cat that you might know.
Oh, Salem.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
All right. Take care.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye.